Hey there everyone. Now I wanted to make this little video on here. This is regarding from the NASCAR race from yesterday. I wanted to make a video about it, but I didn't really get the chance to. I was just a little bit, pretty much I was just not able to. And I know you can also probably tell by the way that I look, that I look a little burned as well. Well, I went to the beach on Saturday and I got some sun, so I was due for a tan, so Yeah, and also got a goatee as well, as I shaved it a little bit, and I unfortunately cut myself a little bit, but that's nothing really that we're focusing on. This is pretty much focusing on the NASCAR race from yesterday. Now, I want to get the name of it, as I just want to call this the usual name it's called, but I have to check my schedule in here to check it to see what it was called. And sorry if you hear a noise in the background. I have my fan on here because it cools down the computer a little bit. We do have a fan on the bottom of it right here, but sometimes it's not enough. Yeah. Anyway, now, forgive me that I don't remember the name of the race, but alright, where is it at? There it is. It is called the Crown Royal presents the John Wayne Walding 400 at the Brickyard, but I'm just pretty much calling this just the Brickyard or anything like that. So here's how everything went. Now, the person who started on the pole for this, I believe it was Kevin Harvick that started originally, with Jeff Gordon second, Brad Keselowski third, Ryan Newman, Brian Vickers, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Kevin Harvick is doing pretty well, I am a fan of him, and I liked back in the day when he was with Richard Childress Racing, but I do like the fact with Austin Dillon, in the NASCAR business, but with him driving the 3-car, I'm not really 100% on it, but, it's their decision, but it is good to see it back on the track, but it would be better if Dale Earnhardt Jr. was driving it, because it just seems appropriate, but he chose not to. So anyway, now with yesterday's race, this in my opinion was a good race. I know that there are some people that would disagree and stuff, but honestly, I think that this was a good race. People thought that it was boring and stuff, and said the only highlights of it was when Danica Patrick messed up and Trevor Bayne was spinning. I mean, it's not really fun a lot of times when somebody spins out or anything. NASCAR is enjoyable. I mean, it's good to watch them race and stuff, but to me, it's not good when Jimmy Johnson wins. And why? Because I am tired of him winning. And for one, he has 6 NASCAR championships and one more, and he'll be tied with the most with Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Sr., which we hope does not happen because, for one, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt were the best in the business, and they did what they did best. Jimmy Johnson, I know, races and stuff, but in my opinion, he's just doing what he wants to do, and that is trying to win and be cocky every time. That is my opinion, that I think that he is cocky. Some people even consider him a cheater and stuff. I mean, I don't know 100%ly if he really did. I just don't really pay attention much to the stuff they talk about of him. But just the fact of him winning 5 straight NASCAR championships was just complete bullshit, But I mean, it's just, there's no way that he will be as good as Dale Earnhardt or the next Dale Earnhardt or anything like that. Never. No one will ever be as good as Dale Earnhardt or Richard Petty. And I know he's got a lot of wins as well, but I don't care what Jimmy Johnson has. Anyway, but back to the race, it got off to a pretty good start. Kevin Harvick wound up taking the lead from Gordon, and then a little later on, Jeff Gordon takes the lead and winds up leading pretty much. And then we have the next stuff. Joey Logano, who did pretty well as well. He led a pretty good amount of laps, and Logano wound up finishing 9th in the race, which is good. But then a little later on, Casey Kane out of nowhere winds up taking the lead as well, and he wound up leading the most laps in the race, leading over 70. And Casey Kane would wind up finishing 10th. But some people were just a little bit disappointed, that I have to say, about this. I mean, I don't really agree with it, but I'll get to it in just a sec. But in the end, the winner of the race, I don't think it was a surprise to some people, but I'm glad that he won because he definitely deserved it, and I think this is his second win this season. If it's not, then I'm sorry I messed up. I believe it's 2. But anyway, the winner of the race was Jeff Gordon. Wound up winning the race and leading the last laps and taking the lead from Casey Kane, which was a little bit, it looked like that Jeff Gordon was going to spin out or something from Casey Kane because the way that he was on the outside of Kane, he shook a little bit, but he wound up taking the lead and just having a big, huge lead from everyone. Yeah, but Kyle Busch wound up coming in second place. It was behind him, but he was pretty much over 2 seconds off of Gordon. So Gordon wound up getting the win, and not only that, for him winning the Brickyard, it's also Jeff Gordon's 5th win at the Brickyard, the most in NASCAR history. The person who had the most was him. Well, he was tied for the most with Jimmy Johnson, unfortunately. So Jeff Gordon wins it for the 5th consecutive time, and also 1994 was also the 20-year anniversary of when Jeff Gordon won it in 1994, which is pretty much amazing. And now 20 years later, he wins it again, and kisses the bricks with his wife and his daughter, I think. But while his son Leo, I think his name is, just sits behind him and just watches them as they kiss the bricks. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But in my opinion, I am a huge fan of Jeff Gordon. I have a NASCAR diecast collection of him, but my favorite driver right now is Dale Earnhardt Jr. My all-time favorite is Dale Earnhardt Sr. But right now, my favorite right now is Dale Jr., then Jeff Gordon. I don't know for number 3 exactly. If Mark Martin was still racing, I'd probably go with him. I don't know who my number 3 favorite is. Let me check. I don't know about Austin Dillon. I have to see. I'd like to see him get his first win one day. I think I'll probably just go with, Bobby Labonte still races and stuff, but he barely wins, as he hasn't really won in a long time. I guess my number 3 favorite would probably be, probably Kurt Busch. Maybe a surprise, but I'll just probably go with him, as I really can't think of one. Then next, probably, I would go with probably Austin Dillon, or maybe Kevin Harvick. I'm not sure. Maybe, because he is number 4. But anyway, that is what I wanted to share with everybody, even though I did not make a video about this yesterday. But again, this, in my opinion, was a great race, but a lot of people also said that Casey Kane should have won the race. I know he led a lot of laps and stuff, but you have to give credit to Jeff Gordon. He did a great job, and I know that a lot of people call him a crybaby and stuff, and when you call him a crybaby, you're not a fan of NASCAR, because you have to show some respect to NASCAR drivers like Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon. But Jimmy Johnson, he just not somebody to look up to, in my opinion. But you have to show respect to Jeff Gordon, because he not only does good in NASCAR, but he also does things for children as well, like for kids with leukemia or anything else like that. He donates a lot of money, which is definitely good. And also, I found out that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was the first one to greet Jeff Gordon from winning the race. That's a class act right there. Jimmy Johnson, he probably did say or come over to him, but Dale Jr. was the first. Yeah. But that's it, basically. That's it for this, but like I said again, I know some people thought that Casey Kane should have won, but again, Casey Kane did a good job, but Jeff Gordon just had the better car. You have to leave it as it is and just stop complaining and saying that Casey Kane got robbed and should have won. And stop saying that the race was boring, because for one, it was not. It was entertaining, and it was great to see a good driver like Jeff Gordon win. And that's it. That's it for this video, so hope you all enjoyed. So please enjoy, and I'll see you all later.